Yeah, and there was another one. Last spring too? That it was going around.
No, almost as good as that fish too. You remember that fish that had a human face here back last month?
Yeah, that was freaky. That's another thing.
Crossbreeding. That's what it is. Aliens,
chimeras,
or taking our DNA and mixing them with other creatures to see what they turn up with. I mean, how would you like to be a giant goldfish with Trump's face?
That's how the jackalope was made.
One of the two. We have Ryan on here. Hi, Ryan. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, Ryan.
How you guys doing?
I was going to say, who's this guy? Taking on here.
Yeah. Who else is sick? Because I have been sick for 4 days. I took, I think, a little bit too much of, what do you call it? Cough medicine, Dayquil. But, it says it on there, it doesn't make you dizzy or tired. But I'll tell you what, I feel like I drank 3 beers.
Yeah, I know exactly how you feel.
About the 3 beer part, or if you feel sick?
The 3 beers. No, the sick part.
Oh, wow. So everything's going good with you and your family and all that stuff?
Yes, sir. Everyone's doing well.
Well, how's the weather where you're at?
It's actually not too bad. It's just been a little chilly. That's about it. And then a couple of nights ago, there was snow and ice. But we haven't seen that since it happened, I think Friday. But other than that, it's just been a little chilly. That's it.
Yeah, I should invite you two over to my place. All of a sudden, I got a lake now where my horse, pen, or what do you call it, corral or whatever it is all underwater, like about 4 feet of water. We've had that much rain nonstop for the last week and a half.
Oh yeah,
this year actually we. Oh, sorry, James, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I watched the weather, the map that I give out for the report for the truckers, and I got to tell you, Gary, the whole western part of your state is nothing but solid green for rain.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, Ryan, what is going on with UFO reports?
Not too much. We actually have quite a decent amount here. I actually looked on the MUFON site this time.
Ryan, before you do,
what's that?
We got to run this first, okay? So stay tuned.
Okay.
As soon as it's over, you go right into it as soon as it stops, okay?
Okay.
Roof of broadcasting building. Speaking from the roof of broadcasting building, New York City. The bells you hear are ringing to warn the people to evacuate the city as Martians approach. Estimated in the last 2 hours, 3 million people have moved out along the roads to the north. Hutchison River Parkway is still kept open for motor traffic. Floyd bridges to Long Island hopelessly jammed. All communication with Jersey Shore closed 10 minutes ago.
Okay, now you can do your UFO report.
All right, this comes from the MUFON site here. And this is on January 26th. It says, as I was driving home past New York Airport, I saw a triangle-shaped smoke cloud traveling upward. And I know for a fact that it wasn't a plane because I took a video of the plane landing and had both plane and the object I saw in the video. All I could make out was the smoke object. It had to have been an object that was possibly covered up by smoke. And he said there were no factories in the area and it was on a clear day. So it's pretty odd there. Hear too many about smoky UFOs.
Oh, yeah.
All right, this next one is January 26th as well. And it comes from Virginia. It says, I witnessed a trail of lights of various sizes and levels of brightness spaced apart. They were all perfectly aligned in formation. The lights were viewed, there was a group of them, and they said it made an arrow type, I guess, what am I trying to say? Like a picture of an arrow in a way, he said. But anyways, they moved, they traveled downward on a slope across the sky, and then they moved at a very smooth, moderate, and consistent pace. They looked effortless and quite beautiful, he said. I could hear nothing usual, but there was some static on my music, which is strange because he was streaming it from a cell phone.
Interesting.
So that's kind of odd. Yeah, you know, I keep getting, just real quick, I keep getting these sightings of bright lights in a row. And I mean, that's honestly 80% of these, and the ones I'm getting in my email. It's pretty crazy. All right, so this one here is from January 28th. It says, I was driving home with my family, headed to north on I-69 towards Fort Wayne, Indiana, when I happened to look above the GM plant and saw a 30-foot-long silver cigar-shaped object about 500 feet above the plant. I observed it for 30 seconds, and then within a few seconds, it was out of sight. It either disappeared or flew at a high-rated speed. It was at a dead stop also. So that's a pretty good sighting, I guess.
Yeah.
That's exactly what me and my wife saw.
Yeah, and about 30.
Right.
That means it's a compact Euro model.
You know, you would have to think, too, that there had to have been a bunch of other people seeing this if it was over the GM plant.
I would think there would be
a
lot. A lot of people should have seen that one.
All right. Well, this next one here is from Minnesota, and this happened on the 28th as well. Now, he starts describing his daily. I guess he works at the casino out here. It says he travels to the Treasure Island Casino near Red Wing, Minnesota. He says he lives in Rochester, and he said he takes Highway 52 north out of Rochester to Highway 58. And then as he gets on a highway or Country Road 1, he says as he heads towards down a highway, he sees this blinking light that flashes a bunch of different colors. He says now it's been seen a couple times in two different areas. He goes, sometimes it's very big and sometimes it's real small. He thought it was the planet Jupiter because of how bright it was in the sky, but after doing some research, he says he's fairly certain it's not Venus. Venus. That's what he meant. He said this thing changes color rapidly, and it looks like it's spinning incredibly fast. Sometimes it changes sizes and pulsates, but as far as I can tell, it doesn't move at all. He said after I left the casino, it's usually gone from the night sky. I have seen it as early as 11 o'clock p.m. and as late as 3 a.m. Well, that's pretty weird. It's a bunch of different colors. So, yeah, a lot of orbs this week. So, and this one here is on MUFON also. There's actually pictures next to it, and you can click on those and view this one I'm about to read to you. Now, it says these photos were taken over a period of years by a camera trap aimed south from the beach on lower Sugarloaf Key. This is a very small sample of many photos of streaks in the sky that were taken. And basically what it is an image, I guess, of a couple of orbs that have been in the same place back and forth. But I saw the photos. They actually don't look too bad, but it is hard to decipher between a star and an orb, But you guys can check that out. It's the fourth listing down.
I will.
Now, the next... What's that?
I said I will right after the show.
All right. All right. This next one here is from yesterday. It says, now he starts off explaining that there's two different orbs. One's blue, one's amber, and they stay, I guess, in the sky for a long time. He said, often in pairs. I've seen them singular as well as split into two and quickly go back together. They typically are over the tree line about a half mile from my house. My house guests, as well as neighbors, have witnessed these on a number of occasions in all kinds of weather, windy, clear, rainy, and length of time. Amber lights seem to be increasing. I've had a helicopter that wasn't familiar fly directly overhead them, leave, and then come back. And he says he attached a video off to the right, and he has a video attached there, and you guys can click on that as well.
What do you think about the video?
Honestly, it looks like the video that I've taken a couple of times. So I do understand, and I do get what he's recording. To be honest, it looks just like two orbs. I mean, what gets me the most, I was just talking to my wife about, was the amber lights. They're in pairs. Now we've seen this out here at least 5 times. Amber lights in pairs traveling. It's strange to me. And the blue light we've seen out here at least does the same thing that he said in there. So it does make sense for sure. But the video looks legit.
Well, you know one thing. Last night, I don't know if you listened to the show. We had Bruce Maccabee on the show.
Yeah.
And, what I found very interesting is what he was saying. So many people are taking videos. And what it is, it's commercial aircraft, because of the amber and the blue light and the headlights on, the wings of the plane. And the people all of a sudden say, oh, it vanished. Well, what happens is what Bruce said. Now, he's an expert on that. That's what he did.
Yep.
And he said what happens is these aircraft all of a sudden turn. So, when you're sitting there looking at the sky at a distance, you think you've seen a UFO, and poof, it's gone. What's happened, in fact, what he's saying is some of these are aircraft, and they're turning, and that gives it the appearance. Am I right, James, that they disappear?
Yeah, and that's exactly what is going on. But we've checked into this on some of those, and we've come through some conclusions. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll
say I called up the control tower in Las Vegas, and I talked to one of the radar operators, one of the controllers, and I said there is somebody in Las Vegas, and he knew who it was instantly, who's flooding the internet with these UFOs over Las Vegas. After the guy quit laughing, he said, look, if there was UFOs on to the mountains, which is like 10 to 15 miles or closer from Las Vegas, what would happen is we would be on a lockdown. No flight's going to come in. No flights are going to come out. So he gave me a phone number for the Air Force near Area 51, the Air Force base there, and somebody to talk to. So I talked to them. Oh, also, this controller did say the same thing that Air Force told me, is twice a month that the military does have helicopters out there checking, the surrounding mountains around Las Vegas, because years ago, you remember they detonated a lot of nuclear weapons out there.
Yeah.
They're checking for radiation. Now, also, I then made the phone call, talked to somebody in the control tower over at the Air Force Base. And I think he was a major something. I can't remember his name. And he said the same thing. He said, look, if there is UFOs being like every other day all around Las Vegas, no aircraft, commercial, we would never let any commercial aircraft go in or go out. They would be grounded. 2 is we would dispatch our fighters to investigate immediately. And he said his feelings was, again, he mentioned on his own that I can't remember the department, but they go out twice a month with helicopters, and they check the surrounding areas for radiation levels. Now, I mentioned that to Bruce last night, and Bruce backed up exactly what I heard from the control tower at the Las Vegas International Airport, and the same thing I heard from the Air Force.
Interesting.
Now, we have to take a break. We'll be back in 2 minutes, and then we can continue on. Brian?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Magger was a biker and drove his motorcycle very fast. Drove a big chop Harley with a gang color jacket and ran down Citizens for laughs. He had an old lady named Petula who packed an automatic 45 gun. They had just come up from California where they'd shot 6 cops for fun. Chicks thought